Hey everyone, Tony for you here, and Persona 25th is finally over. And what a 25th anniversary it's been. And once again, I'm very late to talk about a given subject, but as a wrap up, I thought I'd talk about it. Going into this anniversary, it started off very promising. It seems like all the fans were on board with how hype we were about this. There was plenty of official artwork featuring prominently the main characters of Persona 1 and 2. As a big fan of Persona 1 and 2, with Eternal Punishment being one of my favorite RPGs ever, I couldn't describe my excitement for this. It seemed like finally, Atlus would maybe listen to us. But that was only the beginning. They showed us these acrylic stands with Personas 1 through 5 Royal all on there with their release dates underneath, with 2 mystery entries. What could they be? Eternal Punishment finally getting a localized version without a fan patch? Or maybe Persona 6? Yes, that's just how excited we were, and in hindsight it seems ridiculous. But Persona 5 was released in 2016, and Persona 5 Royal was released in 2019, so was it really that ridiculous to assume there would be a new Persona game? Well, if it wasn't obvious enough, I'm not very happy with the way it turned out. In fact, it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Some of the announcements they made were so ridiculous, if you couldn't see them with your own eyes, you'd assume someone was gaslighting you. The Persona 25th anniversary began quite strong, all things considered. There was plenty of new official artwork starring all the main cast members, everyone from Naoya from Persona 1 to Joker from Persona 5. You got trading photo cards, acrylic stands, and even cool cute little keychains. They also have a symphonic concert. Hey, pretty cool, but that's Japanese exclusive. And the merch was Japanese exclusive too. Oh, okay, no big deal. This is a Japanese company, so Japan obviously comes first. Let's look at some more announcements. Oh, there's some collaborations. There's one in Akihabara with the cafe. Okay, they got a cute little picture of Yu Narukami cooking up some spaghetti. They get ice cream too, dinner and a dessert. Sounds nice. Oh, they even get mouthwash with Personas 3 through 5 flavors. Man, Japan's eating good, and they even have good dental hygiene. Hey, that's good. A lot of cool stuff happening over there. But let's not get disappointed about what we didn't get. Let's look at what we did get. Hopping on over to the Persona 25th Atlus West page, I can't help but notice that there's some things missing. There were 7 slots for announcements, but now there's only 4, now that it's over. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax was announced to be released on Steam, and I was looking very much forward to it. I'm a big fan of fighting games, but I missed out on this title when it was released, so hearing it was coming back to PC, I thought it was my chance. But oh how wrong I was. I actually made an entire video about it. Check it out if you want to know more. But needless to say, this was very disappointing. It was completely botched. They also announced they would have a booth at Anime Expo with unique photo opportunities and a midnight masquerade. They also announced a collaboration with ramen and macarons. I know I made that joke before about how Japan was eating good, but that was a joke. I actually really don't care at all about this stuff. And even if I did, I'm Canadian, so I'm definitely not going all the way over to California or Texas just to hang out with Persona fans. You know what they're like. It also looks like we get some shirts and hoodies too, and while they're not really my style, I could see some people buying them. I actually would have been very interested in the photo cards and acrylic stands, but sadly they're not here. We also got vinyl records for $400, and the record player to play them on for $500. Oh, and I forgot to mention we got Teddy socks. Great. Okay, well this stuff clearly wasn't meant for a guy like me. If you have $900 to spend on this stuff, then more power to you. If you're anything like me, and I bet a lot of you are, you care about the games, right? This is the 25th anniversary. Where are the games? It seemed like the whole time there was announcements about announcements about announcements. There's just nothing happening. Atlus threw us a bone with the digital wallpapers, but if you go on the website now, actually a lot of them have 404'd. That's just unfortunate. And that's basically all we got until the very end of the anniversary, where it was announced that Persona 3, 4, and 5 were all getting ported to modern consoles. Atlus was even kind enough to send me an early copy of Persona 5 Royal on Steam, and I'm happy to say it runs perfectly. I was ecstatic to hear this news, and I was very happy to see everybody was now able to enjoy these wonderful games. And I'll admit, part of me was just happy to see the port begging stop on Twitter. But when you actually look at the announcements, you'll notice that Persona 4 and 3 are coming out a good 3 months after Persona 5 Royal. And also Persona 3 FES is not here. I guess they're finally saying that portable is the definitive way to play. That, or it was just the easiest to port. Whatever. I'm just happy to see 5 and 3 are coming to PC finally, so I can play them officially. So let's check out the store page for Persona 5 Royal. And It's $80 Canadian. I mean, that's a bit steep, right? Persona 4 Golden Deluxe Edition came out on Steam and that was only $30 Canadian, and that's my favorite RPG ever made. Granted, Persona 5 Royal is a much bigger game, so maybe that justifies the bigger price tag, but still, it's not a new game by any means. Like I said before, it came out in 2019. Alright, well, whatever. In 3 months we'll have all the Persona games on Steam. Wait, hold on a second, I can't help but feel like we're forgetting something. Oh, that's right, Persona 1 and 2. Remember those games? Yeah, I do. There was a lot of official art of them in this very anniversary, so it can't be over, right? With nothing announced for them? Were they really just used to serve ice cream? Well, now that it's over, I guess the official answer is yes. Persona 1 and 2 will only ever be used to sell you merch and ice cream. Now, like I said before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying some of the stuff that they announced in the Persona 25th anniversary, but I prefer my entertainment to be a little bit more tangible. You know, like games. Atlus, the game studio, my brother in Christ, make games. I'm half joking when it comes to that. I am by no means saying that Persona games are easy to make, but something would have been nice for the 25th anniversary. I heard it's more normal in Japan for these big live streams to be only really avenues to sell merchandise, but in the West, not so much. They really hyped this stuff up, and they really wanted us to be excited, or at least I thought so. But now that it's over, the last announcement was really the only one most people would care about. You know, the games. And it wasn't even all of them. Now, it's no secret that Atlus's SMT games have been in a bit of hot water recently. SMT 5 was a fine game and sold well, but critically was received with a little bit less praise than maybe they would have anticipated. And Soul Hackers 2 was not so well done. A lot of people really did not like the new entry in the Soul Hackers series, myself included, and apparently it didn't sell very well. So the onus really fell on Persona to keep people interested. But let's take a look at what we got. Concerts you couldn't attend, merch you couldn't buy, and games that were already made, one of which that barely worked on launch. And once again, I feel the need to say that it wasn't even all of the games. Persona 1 and 2 will still never be getting any love from Atlus anytime soon. And possibly it never will. I mean, we didn't even get the dancing games, and I really like Persona 4 dancing. Persona 3 and 5 dancing not so much, but a bundle on Steam would be really cool, if for nothing else but the modding. Instead, what we got felt like scraps of merch. Shirts, hoodies, and jackets are all well and good, but they're not for me, and I'm really not in a good enough position to be spending $400 on a vinyl set. Not that I'm exactly crying over the fact that we didn't get the Persona flavored mouthwash. I do feel bad making videos dogging on Atlus so much, especially since they've been so good to me. But there's been a weird trend on Twitter of people defending Atlus after the anniversary, saying stuff like there's nothing they could have done to make Persona fans happy, they're impossible to please. Or it was your own fault for getting your hopes too high. You should have known they weren't going to announce a new game. But is that really true? Are Persona fans so hard to please, and is there really nothing they could have done better? I don't think so. I think we all would have been ecstatic to see more news of Persona 1 and 2, and the ports of 3, 4, and 5 were a great start, but that's just it. It was supposed to be a start. Instead, it was the finale, and it wasn't really that impressive to me. They really made it seem like this anniversary was going to be a big deal. There were announcements for announcements, they made us wait patiently throughout the entire year, and at the end of it, the only things I was even tempted to buy were the Teddy socks, as a joke. And can we just take a minute to appreciate the fact that Persona 3 and 4 coming to all platforms didn't even make it in the Persona 25th anniversary? It was just the announcement. They're coming next year, and here's hoping Persona 3 on Steam isn't $80. Now, despite me saying all this, I don't want anyone to make a stink on Twitter. In fact, I don't recommend you use Twitter at all, but that's for separate reasons. I guess I just wanted to express my disappointment. It really felt like Atlus was ignoring us in the West. And while the anniversary itself was more than a little bit disappointing, I guess it wasn't all bad. Persona 5 Royal on Steam runs like a dream, and it sets a great precedent for ports going forward. So I really do hope that it does well on Steam, despite it being a little bit expensive. And I really hope Persona 3 Portable does well too. So maybe, just maybe, if we hold out enough hope, we might get the Persona 1 and 2 PSP ports on Steam too. Yeah, maybe in the 30th anniversary. But now that it's all said and done, the Persona 25th anniversary really was disappointing. But that's enough complaining out of me. Let me know what you thought of the Persona 25th anniversary in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Special thanks to Anton, Big T, Ender Latius, Frankie Stoned, Jim Taylor, Just a Middleman, Konyuna, Matt M, Mr. 8 Eyes, The Digital Dutchman, The Toaster Messiah, VideoGamer75, and many more for supporting the channel on Patreon. If you'd like to support, check the link in the description below. Thanks for watching this Persona 25th wrap-up, and I'll see you in the next Tony for You. Have a good one.